Hey everyone, it's Simone Watson. I'm sorry I haven't posted in a while. I've been out of town and I was trying to vlog NaNoWriMo and got really behind, and so there are vlogs that haven't been posted but footage that still needs to be compiled. So I'm going to work on it. But I missed kind of just sitting down and talking to you, doing a sit down video. So today I'm doing my TBR for the Scallywagathon, which is a pirate themed readathon. So instead of TBR, I could just say TB-Arrrgh, TB-Arrrgh, Arrgh, like a pirate. It's a pirate themed readathon that started yesterday, Sunday, May 5th, and is going until next Sunday, May 12th. And it's hosted by Allie from HardbackHoarder, Vanessa from Faerie, and Amanda from Read All the Books. I'm super excited about this readathon for a multitude of reasons, one of which is it's pirate themed, and I've just always found that theme of the Scallywagathon to be fun, but also because I have carefully picked a TBR for the month of May before I even remembered that Scallywagathon was a thing. And so I'm going to try to explain this quickly. There are two challenges I am doing that last for the whole month of May. One of them is Asianathon, which is when you try to read books by authors of Asian descent. And so I decided that I would include at least 4 books by authors of Asian descent on my TBR for May. The other challenge that I am trying to do is the A to Z readathon, which has been hosted for the past few years in May and November. I'm not sure if it happened last November, but it was for a little while there. It was happening like 2017 and beginning of 2018, I think. Now, I have looked it up just now and realized that I don't see any information saying that it's being hosted this month, even though it has been hosted in May in the past. However, I find it to be such a fun challenge, and I have attempted it a few times, and so I'm attempting it again. The basis of the A to Z readathon is that you need to get all of the letters of the alphabet in your TBR. Now, level 1 is when you include the entirety of all of the titles and authors' names, and you just need to include all the letters. Level 2 is when you do not include the authors' names, just the titles, and you need to get all of the letters in your titles. And level 3 is when you get 1 book starting with each letter of the alphabet, which would mean reading 26 books. And in the interest of not making this video too long, I will just show you that I made this is how I made my May TBR. So orange means I have a level 1 for that. So it's kind of like checking it off. Pink means I have a level 2. So the plan is to finish level 1 soon and then see about like moving on to level 2 and level 3. And level 3 is in the purple. There's lots in the purple. So this is my basic TBR for the month, and I used this to construct a TBR for Scallywagathon, even though some things have changed. Okay, so for Scallywagathon, there is a map that you go to for different challenges, and so you have to read like 4 books to complete all the challenges. So I started on number 2, which is a genre you don't normally read. This was one that also could count as number 4, something less than 200 pages, but I'm just super excited. A genre I don't normally read, so I decided to put it on there, and that is this. This is Shuri issue number 7. It is a comic book about Shuri, the younger sister of T'Challa, the Black Panther in the Marvel universe. You see that? That is just so cool. After I had made a May TBR, on Saturday, my brother went to Free Comic Book Day, and he came back and he was like, look, I have something you might want to read. And yes, I loved this. I actually have already completed it, which means 1 challenge down for this readathon. I completed it like late last night before going to bed, and it was great. And now I want to read more comics and more graphic novels. And I've mentioned before that my brother and I want to write at least one graphic novel together in the future. And this just made me even more excited for that, because I was like, wow, like I was just really, I don't know, captured by this type of storytelling. So challenge number 2 is complete. Then if you see the map, this will kind of make sense. From 2, I went to challenge number 6, which is a book featuring a group of friends. So sure, it was a last minute addition to my TBR after I'd already figured out my TBR. This is a book that was already on my TBR, and this is Prom Wrecked by T.H. Hernandez and Jennifer DiGiovanni. It's an arc I have from Entangled Teen. It's actually out today, so I need to finish it as soon as possible and review it. But it's about this group of friends trying to save the prom at their high school because the prom has been canceled due to the lack of funds like money. It sounded like I said fun with an S. Anyway, it seems it's pretty exciting. It's like a pretty exciting concept, and I've started it, and it looks like it seems like it's going to be funny. Now here on my A to Z readathon level 1, from those 2 books, after those 2 books, I only have 3 letters left, which is cool. B, Q, and X. So I went to challenge B, which is a book about a problem facing society today, and I chose this book, which also counts for the Asian readathon, and that is A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahira Mafi. Tahira Mafi is Iranian American, and this is about a Muslim girl named Shirin facing Islamophobia in the year 2002, relatively soon after the 9/11 attacks, which if you're watching this, you've probably heard of the 9/11 attacks. You know, huge event in U.S. history. I remember the 9/11 attacks. I was 7 years old, and things were just not the same after that. Okay. And so the problem of Islamophobia is such a huge problem, in our society today, and it's just really sad. So I am excited to read this book. I'm also excited to read it because it was nominated for the National Book Award last year, and because I've read a little bit of Tahira Mafi's, I've read a little bit of Shatter Me, which is her really famous, I think it's fantasy, yeah, her really famous fantasy series. I know that it's polarizing because it's got a unique writing style that people seem to either love or really not like, but those few pages that I read of that, I really liked them, so and this is going to be a little bit different. It's not so stream of consciousness-y, but I still think that it may be really beautiful, and I read the first couple pages of this too. So lastly, we have challenge number 10, a recently hauled book. I realized I could count almost anything for this because I have library books and I have the Libby app, and the Libby app is a part of Overdrive, so I can just check out ebooks and audiobooks whenever, and I love that. So I have decided on a book called The Quicksand Question by Ron Roy and John Stephen Gurney. I decided on it because I needed the letter B and the letter Q. I didn't find any books with both of those, but I did find a book with Q, The Quicksand Question, and I was like, this is so cute because it's actually from something called the A to Z Mysteries, and I'm like, this series was made for this readathon. Okay, I'm kidding, but basically, yeah, this is a children's, I believe it's like a children's chapter book, so it's short, and I think it's gonna be fun to read a children's book. It's been a little while since I read like a chapter book. Not that long, just a few months ago, but yeah, so I'm excited for that. That way I will complete all 4 of my challenges this week with that, and I will have all of my letters for level 1 except for B. So I decided to kind of make a bonus for myself or something, make some bonus books for my TBR. So one of the challenges is a book with a revenge plot. I chose a book called Breakout by A.M. Rose, which is another arc that I need to read. And so I'm like, okay, if I get finished with the 4 basic books of my TBR, I can move on to that one, which is the bonus. And if I do that, I will be finished with level 1 of A to Z Readathon. Woo! If that's done, then I can move on to The Zombie Zone by Ron Roy, which is another book in the A to Z mystery series. And January Joker by Ron Roy, which is another book in the A to Z Readathon series. So you basically, you get where I'm going with this. Now, once I have done those 2 reads and Breakout and my basic TBR, I will actually also be done with level 2 of A to Z Readathon. So excited for that. And then I just have to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 19 more books to finish level 3. So we'll see. And I have decided to pick a book for, oh yeah, both of those things are under 200 pages. The Zombie Zone and January Joker. Oh, January Joker also is not from the A to Z mysteries. I don't know if I said it was, but it's not. It's from the Calendar Mysteries, which is also by that author, but so much fun. Chapter books. It's just like the memories. But lastly, I have my last bonus book, and this is a book from another another Scallywagathon challenge that, yeah, if it's another one that's not on my course, and it counts for Asianathon because this is a book by another Iranian-American author, I believe. And this is The Final 6 by Alexandra Monier. This was one of my top 10 most anticipated reads of 2018, if you have seen that video series. And it counts for the challenge of having stars on the cover. So look at that. I'm going to try and cover my county name, but you see that? There's stars on the cover. It's such a beautiful cover, and I'm very excited. So that will complete my Scallywagathon TBR. If I don't get this book complete this week, I will probably push it to next week because it definitely is on my May TBR, and I might be doing another readathon, or perhaps 2. But I will have to tell you about that next week. So that's why I didn't do my whole May TBR in one video. That's part of it, because if I do all 3 levels, it's going to be 26 books, and that's just like, so plus because I want to do Scallywagathon TBR because I love Scallywagathon. So now I'm starting to ramble a little bit. I'm just going to let you go, but thank you so much for watching, and if I deviate from this TBR, I'll come back and tell you in my wrap up. And yeah, I will see you soon. Bye.